Yes, this is interesting. This new information is surfaced. Chip technology, end of the world, new world order, alien race, government conspiracies, 9/11, atomic weapons, nuclear age. All this information has definitely come out and changed our thoughts and perspectives as people have started to send these bits, YouTube videos, and information and blogs throughout the whole internet. And each person getting their opportunity to spread their information back. I'm looking to find a place where we can start to gather our thoughts, collaborate into what will happen when these things take place. I've been watching a few people on the internet and taking their information down just to kind of get a reference of where I'm coming from, where I'm at, what people know and what people don't know. I want to give you a chance to see that as I've been talking to my friends where I live in San Diego for years about New World Order, conspiracies, people thought it was a big hoax and nobody really understood. Then I caught some internet. I finally got on the internet and was able to look out there and see what other people were doing. And David Icke, when he started doing it, he was around 38 years old. I found some very interesting information from the research he had done. I want to show you a clip of when he first began, how they ridiculed him and made him feel as if he was unable to deliver the information that he wasn't quite prepared for. May have been premature at the time, but nevertheless, he was strong and had a belief system and things that were happening. Let me play the clip for you.
It is in balance, but it has been increasingly in control. As I repeat, survey the world, ladies and gentlemen. Is the force of love in control of this world, guiding this planet at this time? Of course not. The negativity, the thoughts that I'm talking about that are very destructive, are pouring out of this planet every day.
Was it a great shock for you to discover this at 38?
Well, I think the word is gobsmacked. But again, you know, the best way of removing negativity is to laugh and be joyous. So I'm delighted that there's so much laughter in the audience tonight.
But
just let me say this.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
Fine.
This interview went on to follow Mr. David Icke for some time, and he continued his search and his quest. There's a couple more videos here that I want to also add into this information. This one here is an atomic weapon.
43 seconds, the time and barometric triggers started the firing mechanism. A uranium bullet fired down a barrel into a uranium tunnel. Together they started a nuclear chain reaction. Solid matter began to come apart, releasing
these Asians sitting there unaware of what was getting ready to happen to them as the bomb was falling, ready to destroy their whole area. Devastation instantly was spread across the area. Just Hiroshima. This is a reenactment of the information. As the pilot flies away and sees the wreckage. We've seen this happen and continue to go on. The only nation to actually use atomic weaponry is the United States of America. If you don't believe that they would bomb the World Trade Center, look at what they did to Japan. You have to have some empathy. You have to have some type of love to think before reacting in this drastic a manner. Here's another clip I want to show just to give some more information. As the information that's going around, Aaron Russo, he did some great research. He went and talked to a few people about the IRS information, chip technology.
That's
Bam.
microchips.
another
In
form of
2005, Congress,
an atomic
under the pretense
weapon.
of immigration control and the so-called war on terrorism,
United States
passed the Real ID Act.
just going to bomb everybody with the information. Real ID.
You will be required to carry around a federal identification.
They just said on the
card,
news,
which includes on it a
there are
scanned
countries
barcode with
in
your
Europe
personal information.
that won't have to come over with passports. Rather, they'll have ID cards.
Before the card is equipped with a Verichip RFID tracking module, which will use radio frequencies to track your every move on the planet. If this sounds foreign to you, please note that the RFID tracking chip is already in all new American passports. And the final step is the implanted chip, which many people have already been manipulated.
Now we're looking at a situation here similar to Japan. The difference is we see the bomb. We're aware of it. We have this information available to us. But we refuse to gather and assemble ourselves and go against this country. We continue allowing it to continue work, play, video games, TV, the food, sitting at the table, congregating at church. Meanwhile, this information is not in the church. I've talked to many Christians that are in church every Sunday. None of them even know that this is happening. As much as I've been taught about the book of Revelation in church for years, 15 years, and probably like 20, but over the last 15 years where I've searched to find the truth, I find out that this is going on. But the church is not spreading it. They're not talking about New World Order. They're not talking about be prepared for the chip society. What are we going to do? How are we going to congregate? Where do we go to avoid this? So I started looking at the information and gathering it little by little. Watch Alex Jones. He's done some amazing things. He's been going out and protesting, and I'm really excited about the movement. There's a revolution movement going through the country, and I want to do my part. This is a beginning for me. I'm casting some new videos out so people can check them out, see the things that I've seen. I'm trying to speak on them so you can see a person behind the film that is putting these parts together, so that there's not just any person putting them on hiding. I don't want to hide behind them. I want to be up front with who's doing this, what is being said from this person, Richard. Here's another video I'd like to also play. As you'll see here, the devastation of 9/11.
Heard them say that a paper passport fell out of one of the towers and was picked up by a police officer on the street. This plane flies into the building, explodes with jet fuel out of the guy's jacket, goes through the fireball, through the side of the plane, out of the burning building, fire shooting out, and comes down to the ground unscathed. But something happened. For 6 months they reported they had this passport. Boy, we've got it, we've got the proof. And then the guy stood up and was alive in the Middle East, and they pulled it and said, oh, that was a mistake. He wasn't a hijacker, and the story just disappeared.
Reason number 7. The FBI, nevertheless, has not revised its list. This is quite surprising. They have to be aware. David Ray Griffin's second book, the 9/11 Commission Report on Missions.
So I'm merely trying to suggest that the cover-up that's been going on for some time this is something we need to consider. This is the most important idea of what I've brought this whole video about, is at this point in time, when this begins, you'll see the tribulation time.
So I just want this kind of to be a message from the past, and for future people hear this. When things like what you're hearing now are illegal, and when it's totally clear what you face,
when your freedoms are
I want
gone,
you to know if you don't resist, it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And you will realize that you're the leaders, and you will realize that it's up to you to take action with God's help when you're really against the wall. So this is my message to you in the future.
here I am,
A lot of
in the
people came
future,
before me, and
when this video was made.
I came before you. And I'm telling you, you don't have a choice. The bio attacks they've launched against you, the herding into the cities, every few years more horrific event, cocktails of attacks, everything you've gone through. Now you've got to spread the word to your fellow man. Now everyone will see the truth, now that you're in lockdown prison cities. And I'm speaking to the secret police of the future.
So, this reminds me of a time And a story I heard off the internet, another guy that was talking about information, he said that he was in Nazi Germany when they took a population of people and he didn't speak out. And then another population of people, he still didn't speak out. The third population of people were rounded up, he didn't speak out again. Then in the final phase, he was taken. And the problem, when he walked away, he realized there was no one else left to speak out for him. And he went into camp. Is that going to happen to you? Do you plan on being the person at the end who could have rallied in the beginning, created a movement, had a voice, agreed with moving forward? 1776, the revolution of the millennium. Get on board before this could be you.